Welcome to Math with Miss Stacy. In this video, we will talk about how to simplify or reduce fractions. Simplifying fractions is sometimes called reducing fractions. So we're going to look for factors besides the number 1 that the numbers share, the numbers being the numerator and the denominator of the fraction. Then divide both the numerator and the denominator by that factor. Continue this process as needed. Sometimes the numerator and the denominator only share one factor, and sometimes the numerator and denominator share multiple factors. So all numbers have a factor of 1, meaning you can multiply that number 1 times itself will give you that number. But let's look for factors beside 1. So first, let's take 2/6. These are both even numbers. So what we can do is divide the numerator and the denominator by 2. So divide this by 2. Divide this one by 2. Whatever you do to the numerator of the fraction, you have to do the same thing to the denominator. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 3 divided by 2 is 3. So 2/6 simplifies to 1/3. Next, let's look at this fraction, 12/15. Well, 1 plus 2 is 3, and 1 plus 5 is 6. And 3 and 6 both have a factor of 3. They're multiples of 3, so we know we can divide both of these by 3. So 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. Okay, let's look at numbers that have fives or zeros at the end. We have 15/40. So if both numbers end in a 5 or a 0, you can divide both of them by 5. So we have 15 divided by 5 and 40 divided by 5. Remember, you have to do the same thing to both the numerator and the denominator to have an equivalent fraction. 15 divided by 5 is 3, and 40 divided by 5 is 8. Okay, we're done reducing. When the numerator and the denominator only share a factor of 1, then you know you are finished reducing that fraction. One more example I'd like to look at is 14/70. Okay, 14 and 70 are even numbers, so we know we can divide both of them by 2. And divide by 2. So 14 divided by 2 is 7, and 70 divided by 2 is 35. But both of those numbers now have a factor of 7. So we can divide the top by 7 and the bottom by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 35 divided by 7 is 5. So I didn't originally, when I looked at 14/70, I didn't notice that both of those were divisible by 14. But I did notice that they're both divisible by 2. And then when we simplified a little bit, we noticed that they're both divisible by 7 to get 1/5. So if you divide both the numerator and the denominator by a number, and then your next fraction still has common factors, you have to continue um, simplifying until you get two numbers that only have one. They only share one as a factor. So we look for factors besides the number 1 that the numbers share. Then divide both the numerator and the denominator by that factor. Continue this process until you only have a numerator and denominator that only share the factor of 1. Okay, it's time for our affirmations. Say them with me. I can learn math. I can learn anything. Have a great day.